Watcher. Hey, Watcher, honey. Watcher, honey, my love. What are we doing? What are we doing? What are we doing? What are we doing? Hello and welcome to this emergency video. My name is Malia. Please feel free to throw me a subscription, a like, whatever. It's not what we're here for. We are here about Watcher. If you're like me and you're a fan of Watcher's content and you somehow haven't heard the news yet, I am so sorry that I have to be the one to break this to you, but Watcher has decided to become a paid subscription service. I have a lot to say about this personally, but I'm gonna save that for mostly the end, so stick around for that. But right now, let's get right into the video they posted because it is something. It's something. Mm-hmm. Alrighty.
As sad as it is to say goodbye to YouTube, it's the right thing to do.
No, it isn't. And you know how I know that it isn't? Look at your comment section, big guy. You'll end up just like me. I'll come as a bitch. I should've known better. If I had a wish, I would've never messed around. Never in my life have I seen a comment section so unified.
If this is my last time on YouTube, then baby, what a life I've lived here on this platform.
I grew up on YouTube. All of my heroes were on YouTube. I learned how to be a human on YouTube. Taking a step away from it, it's just tough because I've always really loved and cared about the YouTube community, so it's hard to leave.
Aw, look at all that nostalgic footage of everybody making you feel all warm and fuzzy. You enjoyed that? You want more of that? Stay up. YouTubers do this thing where they will try to garner sympathy for something that they know they're not really gonna get a lot of sympathy about. We see this a lot, especially in like apology videos. And in a way, this almost feels like it's formatted like an apology video. There's just no apology.
My name is Ryan Steven Vergara, and I'm part of Advanced Video Production.
Hello, I'm Professor Morris Ashley. Welcome to another exciting episode of Extreme Science.
I had no idea what to do for my intro. Please don't stop watching. Please.
My first YouTube video that I ever made was in 2012.
And that, my friends, is how you will become the most baller in your city.
It's so embarrassing, but I think it really encapsulates early YouTube, which is this like unfettered joy of just making and creating something that was in your head and sharing it with the world.
I just remember from like a young age, it was a way for me to feel like I had a purpose, or it was a way for me to find self-esteem. I guess when I'm making things, it's when I feel the most alive. And I think that's carried over into my adult life. And in a lot of ways, sometimes I look back and it feels like I haven't really even grown up. And I'm sure if you ask people about that, they probably would agree with me, that I have not grown up.
I went to Northern Illinois University for 2 years because it felt very selfish and weird to want to go into film. And I was like, I gotta do something responsible. I can't just do something that is fun. And then after 2 years of that, I was like, I'm really sad and I really don't, I was like, I guess it's worth maybe pursuing my, creative ambitions. So then I went to Columbia College in Chicago and studied editing. Even before that, when I was at Northern, I was still making a bunch of dumb little videos.
It opens with footage of Ryan, Shane, and Steven all kind of talking about their beginnings on YouTube and how YouTube was a wonderful creative outlet for them. It was a place where they could be free to do what they wanted. They loved it. This is made to make you feel very warm and fuzzy and nostalgic, so that when they announce that they're going to have you pay to see any more of their new content, you'll be more inclined to do it, except that it didn't work. So this just feels really manipulative.
Myself, Shane, Steven, we all came from BuzzFeed. It was kind of like the formative years of our creative process.
I didn't really know how to make a video. I didn't know virality. I didn't understand the internet that well. So BuzzFeed for me was like college.
I had a great time there. I was never very good at sort of chasing like viral stuff. The stuff that I did find success with was stuff that I was very passionate about. And that was kind of hit or miss, you know?
Steven and myself made something called Worth It and Unsolved, respectively.
That was when I went from like, oh, this is that Asian kid in the BuzzFeed video, to like, oh, that's Stephen Lim. That's like the guy who hosts Worth It.
Luckily, I was, you know, roped into Unsolved and was able to be in that.
There was a fire in all three of us. We had something to prove. We had a passion for making content and making it to a certain level of quality that would perhaps punch above its weight.
I think the problem with this particularly is that they're trying to tell us, you know, these very heartwarming and fuzzy little stories about all their beginnings, and that's totally good, you know? We do love to see people being appreciative of their platform, but they're only being appreciative of their platform because they're about to leave it and they don't want to lose your viewership. This all comes off as extremely corny and hollow.
My proudest moments have been being able to hire incredible people. And so growing our staff from 3 to 6 to 10 to 20 to 25.
25 people? No wonder you're struggling. Oh my god, if this is a financial thing, and I assume that's why they're doing it, 25 people on your crew? For what? I may not know what I'm talking about. Maybe I am completely talking out of my ass right now, but it does not seem like you need 25 people to make what you make, right? The amount of money that they're probably making from their channel annually, I guess would maybe cover like all of the labor costs for those people, and that's it. No wonder they're having financial struggles. Y'all hired on too many people. Why did you do that? I'm sure they're all lovely and talented individuals, and those people deserve to have a space and a job where they can express their creativity, where they can succeed and do their jobs well. Instead of being responsible and waiting to hire people despite really liking them, waiting until they had the money to do it, they just decided to do it. And now they're like, oh shit, we don't have money. Well, yeah, because you acted outside of your financial range, obviously.
I'm proud of the fans and the community that we've fostered.
That is a crazy thing to say when you are about to slap the community that you fostered in the face with a paywall. We're gonna get into the real meatless meat and potatoes here. How do you feel about Watcher? You're gonna say that publicly on the internet, buddy? Okay.
More than 50% of our business is run by advertising. We are relying on ads to make money, to pay the bills, to run this office, to make beautiful content for all of you guys out there. Unfortunately, over time, the deals that we were getting in 2019, 2020 are looking a lot different than they are today. We're making something for two audiences. We're making it for the fans, all of you out there, and we're also making it to please the advertisers. It's difficult to make the stuff that we want to make and also then appeal to the advertisers as well.
Talk about wanting to rely less on advertising, right? They don't want to have to worry about pleasing advertisers while making content for their fans, right? But the thing is that the fans don't mind watching the advertisements because the videos are free. The whole purpose of the ads being there is that the creators can get paid by the free viewership of its fans. That's the beauty of YouTube. That's the beauty of this system, right? We watch for free, and you guys still get paid. If you operate within that and continue to make the good shows that all of your fans like, you're golden. You're golden, baby. It's easy as that. But you've decided to punch above your weight and you can't afford it, and now you're making us foot the bill. That's not okay. To do that is really, really awful. And I'm not sure if you guys are shocked by the reception to this video, but considering what I have just said, you shouldn't be shocked. How did this not come into your mind while you were making this video? How did you think this was a good idea? They're talking about how they struggle to make things that they want to make. And that's fine. It's a valid thing to say. It's your art. It's what you're making, and it's not what you want it to be. You can have that complaint. But a streaming service that is paid is not the answer to that most of the time. In fact, it's going to do the opposite. It's going to isolate all of your fan base, and you will lose everything that you worked for, and it's really sad to see.
It does cost a certain amount. Like, for example, a Ghost Files episode. First, we have to travel to the location itself. We have to pay the location fee. We have to pay freelance staff that comes to help us shoot that when we're shooting in the studio. We have to pay for the studio to shoot the actual episode in. Then we have to pay for post. Before that, we also have to do the pre-production of the episode. And when you add that all up, We're talking about an end of a season that costs hundreds of thousands of dollars. I'm not sitting here complaining that is the bed we've made.
The bed that they are currently making for themselves is a bed that I don't even think they're going to be able to afford to lay in. It seems like they're working backwards here. Instead of waiting until they had the money to get bigger, right? The way that it normally progresses, you wait until you have enough money and enough support to get super big with your projects, and then you can pursue those. They're saying, we're going to bypass that. We're going to go straight to making giant, expensive productions, and we're just going to hope that you're going to want to foot the bill for us. And that's not how this works. That is doomed to fail.
Ours was to make a television show. And, over time, you start to realize, like, hey, maybe television shows aren't meant for YouTube. Perhaps we should find a different place that's better suited to the content that we're making and can support the dollar amount that we're putting into each of these episodes so that we're not constantly running around trying to find sources of revenue to support the model.
They talk about wanting to have made television caliber content, but for YouTube. And I think that they kind of did that, except that they didn't. It's YouTube caliber content that's on YouTube. Television is dead. YouTube is so fresh and full of new ideas all the time. And we have excellent creators that are out there making such creative and engaging and wonderful, insightful, thoughtful projects. Like Watcher. YouTube is genuinely one of the greatest places to consume media and content. I feel like there's so much freedom and creativity. I love YouTube. I've been a YouTube kid since it first came out. My commentary genre dropped. Ooh, I was on it. Y'all remember Ryan Higa? That was my man. YouTube has this wonderful, rich history of excellent, excellent content, and they're a part of that, and now they've tarnished it. They've thrown it away. They said, see this? This is my career. You want to see something really cool? Watch this. People love the shows. There's no complaints about quality. Nobody's complaining about the quality. They are excellently produced. I was watching one of the Puppet History videos 2 weeks ago, and I was thinking damn, this is really well made, because it is. And you don't need to go to a streaming platform to be able to do it, because they're doing it right now. They have been doing it for years.
The goal was always to make television caliber quality content. And not just for YouTube. But for you guys.
Make television quality content, not just for YouTube, but for you guys. So you know that all of your guys are on YouTube, right? All of us are YouTube watchers? Come on. You've now said, we know you guys are our audience on YouTube, that all of our audience comes from YouTube, but what we're going to do is remove ourselves from this platform and put up a barrier, and unless you can support us financially, you no longer have access to our content. And that's really uncool to do to your audience that has been watching you for years. Our free viewership gives them money so they can make these videos, and they just didn't handle it correctly, and they're trying to make it our problem to handle, and it's not. It's really, really not, okay? Don't be duped into buying this subscription service. This is such a backhanded thing to do. It's really not cool. You can't just sit there and say thank you to your whole platform and then leave them in the dust and expect that to be okay. This is insane and horrible. Who's gonna watch your content if not us? People aren't just gonna go buy a random new streaming service with absolutely no, idea of what it is, right? Nobody's going to be doing that, and all of your fans are saying they're not going to be buying the subscription service. I saw 2 different comments on Twitter that said that they were going to be purchasing the subscription service, and I don't even believe necessarily that they were actually real watchers.
I guess we just hope you guys follow us this one last time.
No. Where are you going? Hey, come back. Where are you going? Where are you? What is this? Where are you going?
To our very own independent streaming service.
No!
Watcher is an ad-free, independent streaming service dedicated to providing you guys the television caliber content that you know and love.
Watcher is ad-free. Nobody cares about watching ads, okay? Nobody on YouTube gives a single shit about watching an ad because it allows us to give you money for free. Our viewership of those ads gives you guys free money to continue making this content. It is not our fault that you didn't handle it correctly. Truly, if you had just cut a couple underperforming shows and maybe downsized your staff, which would be very unfortunate, but you guys did it to yourselves, probably could have been able to afford producing all the shows that your viewers did really love and do really love, that they no longer have access to because you've pulled it behind a paywall.
But you're probably wondering, how is it going to be different than the YouTube experience?
The new streamer, I think, is a place that reflects what our content is. High quality series in season form, beautifully organized, ad-free. It's what we were destined to be.
So this just looks like a YouTube channel. A paid YouTube channel. Good luck with that.
First of all, bigger and better content. Advent of this streamer has allowed me to bring the gang back together.
That's true.
Adam,
Your pals.
Andrew, the old friends from Worth It, and we're going to be launching the spiritual successor, which is going to be called Travel Season. Watch it on May 31st. It's going to be a full 6-episode season, and you can watch it all, if you remember, on the streamer.
Yes, it would be super cool to see old BuzzFeed creators come back and do revivals of old shows or new shows. But again, if it was funded through YouTube and Patreon and merchandising, whatever, and not through the required paywall of a streaming service, that's the problem here. It feels very privileged to be asking your audience that is broke college-age students for the most part to pay for your expensive and lavish excursions. You're going to other countries to do a new version of Worth It, from what I understand, so you want us to pay you to take international trips, to eat stupid expensive food that most of us will never experience. Most of the people that are watching don't have the financial means to ever experience even a fraction of the life that you guys are having. And you want us to foot that bill for you? No. That's so insulting and self-indulgent and out of touch. Shane particularly, I thought, would be better than this, would be above this, but clearly not.
And, you know, we get to maybe bring back a little blue guy.
When it comes down to it, end of the day, why not? That should be our slogan. Why not?
Why not? Overwhelmingly, nobody wanted this. You didn't poll with your audience to see if you would get the support in the first place, which seems like a really bad idea. There should have been some kind of polling with your audience so you could guarantee that if you did this, you would have support. Because now you've shot yourself in the foot. You have lost thousands of subscribers in a matter of 24 hours, right? This video has been up for a day, and they have gone from like 2.93 million to 2.88 million. They are dropping, and they're not going to get any support on their streaming service. So now what are they going to do? What are they going to do? They're going to come right back to YouTube. But the problem with that is that they've now burned that bridge, and they're not going to be at the same level anymore.
You can become a member of Watcher for $5.99 a month or $59.99 a year.
We want to keep the price low enough where anybody and everybody is able to afford it, but it also has to support the things that we do here. So that was the number that just made the most sense for the streamer.
And as a thank you to our first members, those that sign up before May 31st will have the opportunity to vote to bring back your favorite show. And not only that, but we're giving members who sign up before May 31st a whole 30% off their annual subscription.
30% off the annual subscription. Oh, so we can get roped in, right? And you guys get the most amount of money possible. So even if they don't like the streaming service, they're locked in for the year, and then you guys get the maximum amount of money from the person who signed up. How generous. Also, like, so are they aware of the cost of living crisis? You're telling me Eat the Rich Shane is not aware of the cost of living crisis? It is rough out here. We have to really, really try to afford gas and groceries at the same time. It is difficult. We can't have 8 streaming services, 2 to 3 at most. I like to cycle them in and out, so I'll like switch back and forth depending on what I want to watch that month, but I can't have willy-nilly subscription services. What kind of world do you think we live in? YouTube is one of the last bastions of free content, and it needs to remain that way. We shouldn't be pulling all the good YouTube content off of YouTube. It's not going to work. The whole reason that people get so successful on YouTube is there's no barrier to entry, right? You don't have to pay to watch the content. And the free viewership still gives those creators money. It's an excellent system. It has flaws, but for the most part, it's an excellent system. People will offer, paid avenues for some of their subscribers that can afford it. Patreon, merchandising, live events, whatever. But they usually don't take that free content that gets them all that popularity in the first place and then pull it behind a wall, snatch it away and say, there's a cover, sorry, you gotta pay to get in. Did y'all not pay attention to Rooster Teeth? Your watchers also aren't exclusive to the US. You guys have an international audience. $5.99 here is not $5.99 everywhere. Exchange rates are crazy and unstable, and I don't know who advised you into making this decision, but I really wish they didn't. You guys have just shot your whole career in the foot. I don't know if there's really a way to tangibly walk this back and come back from it in a meaningful way.
This is our final goodbye to YouTube. And if it's our goodbye to you, I hope it's not, but if it is, I do want to say thank you for supporting us all along the way.
Your viewership has allowed us to do all these wonderful things that we've done these past 4 years, and we hope that you'll come along for the ride.
And help us continue to build.
Yeah.
Build this thing out even bigger.
There it is. We want to build bigger. That's what it comes down to if it wasn't clear enough by this entire video. They want to be bigger and better despite none of us in the audience asking for that. We just like watching these guys goof around, have a good time. That's it. And they've done this. It's a vanity project. If they want to do this, that's totally cool. That's their channel. They have the right to do that, obviously. But I don't think that they anticipated not getting that support. I don't think that they fully understood that pulling all of your content off of a free platform to make people pay for it is not a good idea, especially when you have less than 3 million subscribers. This seemed like a very poor decision all around. This isn't gonna do what they think it's gonna do. It's gonna do the opposite.
It's been fun. Thanks, guys.
Thank you.
This is one of the worst decisions I've seen on YouTube, and I was watching PewDiePie in 2017. This decision is horrendous. I don't know why they thought this was gonna work. They have outed themselves as money-hungry creators, and I don't think that there's a way to tangibly walk that back at this point. I think it's done. I think it's a done deal. The watchers can see them now. For a lot of us that struggle financially, having free entertainment like this is game-changing, right? You have a really long day at work. You are struggling to make it by. You can't afford to have a bunch of subscriptions. And here's YouTube, and here's Watcher, and they're providing excellent quality for us to enjoy for free. It's a respite, it's a relief, it's a little bit of joy in a world where it costs money just to breathe. And this is just such a slap in the face to all of those people. Because again, their demographic is mostly broke college-age people. I saw somebody on Twitter talking about how they would watch their videos while they were in line at the food bank. Like, come on. So they list advertising, production quality, creative freedom as all the reasons why they're doing this, right? That's all well and good. Again, it is their channel, and if they want to put what they want over what the viewers want, that's totally okay, and they have the right to do that as the artists behind things, right? However, when you now isolate all of your audience, who's going to watch? Who's going to be funding all these bigger and better projects and all your creative freedom? The answer is the opposite of this. They needed to find other avenues to make money or to save money instead of just pulling all of their content onto a paid platform. Keeping the content free is essential to keeping their channel alive and to keeping their content going, to in the future building bigger and better, to having more creative freedom with whatever you want to do, right? If they had just waited and been patient and thought about other things, they could have achieved what they wanted. And instead, they tanked it. And I'm not just making this video to be like, oh, boo, I'm mad, I can't afford another subscription service. I can't. But that's not why I'm making this video. I'm making this because they need to be told that they can't afford to do this. You can still kind of save some of your audience if you walk this back, like now. But if you continue on this path, I'm scared y'all are gonna lose everything that you worked for, and you make really good content. I love puppet history so much. I want to be a history teacher. I want to go to school to be a history teacher. It's expensive, but I want to figure out how to do it. And what I really enjoy about puppet history is the way that everything is presented is so engaging and fun. And it seems like there's a lot of retention from the audience about it, right? And I want to learn how to be engaging like that with my teaching, right? I want to learn how to keep students engaged and in it when I'm teaching a class. Watching puppet history is really helpful for me, not just because it's entertaining, but because it's educational for me as a future educator. Their shows are amazing, and they're throwing it away for greed. I don't know who told them this was going to be a good idea, but it seems like it was this guy. I also see people comparing this to like Dropout and College Humor, and I don't think it's quite the same. From what I understand, College Humor was on the brink of collapse, right? It was going to go away forever, and Sam had to make a last-ditch effort to save that channel, and he did. He saved years of content and camaraderie, and he did it very well. Dropout's extremely successful. Brennan and his intrepid heroes are headlining Madison Square Garden? Incredible, right? But this feels different. I don't get the sense that they're like destitute and they've tried everything that they could and now they have to resort to this. It sort of feels like we didn't want to try that hard and this seems like a good way to make extra money, so we're gonna do it. Having some paid content, like on Patreon, whatever, and having still free content on YouTube and having some paid, some free, that's a really good idea. I'm not sure if they actually do that, if they already do, whatever. But if they aren't doing that, I don't know why they didn't do that first. It seems like a massive leap to go from putting free content online to making it paid. I hope that if for some reason watchers watching this video, I'm sure there's going to be so many by the time I post this, but if they are watching this, I hope that they understand that our videos aren't really coming from a place of wanting your downfall. It's coming from a place of trying to preserve your careers for you. We are trying to save you from your own poor decision. This is not going to end well for you guys, and we don't want to see you disappear forever. You guys make excellent content. I enjoy the content a lot. Like I said, Puppet History is very helpful to me as a future educator. I take a lot from that show. I learn a lot from that show, not just history, but about educating people and keeping it engaging and fun. These shows mean a lot to me. I love Mystery Files. And I don't want to see it disappear forever. You guys can still avoid a lot of that consequence if you walk it back as quickly as possible. Personally, I don't think I can even watch older Watcher videos right now. I just can't justify giving my viewership money to people that are this greedy and self-indulgent, because that's what this decision is at the end of the day. I feel like we all feel slighted because we really thought that they were better than this. And that's the problem with parasocial relationships. We don't know them. They don't know us. You don't know me. I don't know you. But what we do know is that the spirit of Icarus is alive and well in Watcher. Sorry, this was more of a serious video rather than a little funny haha. But it's just very, very devastating to see happen on this platform. You really do hate to see it. Please subscribe, throw me a like. I do have a Buy Me a Coffee in the description. Please support me if you want to, if you can. If you can't, that's totally okay. I will never put my content behind a paywall. Thank you, ma'am. And I hope to catch you in the next one. Bye.